Heyo. Oh, today's Friday. Oh, I need to set the bot. Set up the bot then. Hello, Goblin. Excuse me, buddy. All right. I'm gonna assume that that wasn't that amount of buffering was a mistake. All right. Let's see. Uh, we're here first. All right. Let's see how this goes. There we go. All right. Oh, wait a second. Wait, eat a snack. That's classic me. Well, we're gonna go through this bad boy as best we can. We have already go through it a little bit. We should go through it a little bit. We have some notes. We have some notes of different build ideas to look at over there. We're just like reading the patch notes and things that we've previously done or things that we were previously looking forward to. So let's get into it. This is the main image for anyone who might watch this VOD. I don't think anyone's here right now, so I'm just gonna talk to myself mostly. Druids here, very pretty art. Last of Druids is not the name of the league. The new league is called Fate of the Vol. You build your own dungeon, crafting mechanics, more Booba on Aziri, new uniques, all kinds of stuff. 2 new synergies, which is just the Druid synergies, and then a new weapon type, which allows you to be a wolf, bear, or a wyvern, which is interesting. Fresh economy. This is the generic talk looks like for what leagues are to kind of explain to people who aren't used to leagues. No, I don't read too much about that. New content, playable class, Oracle Shaman, 20 skills, primarily primal skills, new supports, new lineage supports, and then 250 new passives in the passive tree. It says new passives, so I think some of these are also just adjusted passives. They don't have the tree out yet. They're still working on a lot of this stuff, so we'll see how it looks in whenever it actually launches. 10 unique items. Talisman, which is the weapon we talked about. 200 weapon. Marshall. Allows you to shapeshift depending on which kind of weapon it is. You can go into like a bear, wolf, or a wyvern. Some weapons have 2 types, and you select which one you want to transform into. Pretty sweet. 4 new augment items with new modifiers that you can craft onto your items. And improving sound art and effects. Awesome. Cool. This went to 1 core. Honestly, most of the leagues that they add in at this point, because it's beta and stuff, I imagine are just things they want to go core. I don't think they're gonna do a league and be like, we don't want this to go core. Actually, that's just like a wasted time in development in early access. So I would just assume every league is intended to go core, even if some of the parts will change, that kind of thing. But Abyss went core. Woo! Only thing that really changed, looks like most, is obviously it's not gonna be in every act. You start seeing it in Act 2. Or it's not gonna be in every map, rather. You start seeing in Act 2, and then in certain maps, you'll be able to see it as a modifier. There's also abyssal tablets, that kind of stuff. Reserve Reverberate no longer drop. Those are the ones they can roll on maps. One of the focuses they want to do in this league was make it to where rolling maps wasn't as annoying. So they reduced the amount of things you do 2 maps to juice them up, but increased the amount of like the effect of the modifiers to kind of compensate. So to feel like lost juice. We'll see how that plays out though. Will of Souls quests will count for the lack of abyss. Yeah. So it's just verbiage. A bunch of CPU performance improvements made, they said. We'll see how it looks for us when we play. But it looks pretty okay so far. Like from the little snippet they showed. Alright, here's some actual changes now. Things that we actually want care about. Smile. Tailwind now grants 1% increased movement speed, 2% increased skill speed, previously 3%. Was it 3% of both? Or was it, this is new, this used to be 3%? Evasion. Okay, so it looks like Tailwind got nerfed, which probably fine. Deadeye was up there for a reason. It's probably, I'm pretty sure it ate multiple nerfs in this patch, so just get used to that. Base unarmed attack time is now 0.65 instead of 0.4, so you attack a little bit faster now with like Hollow Palm kind of thing. Modifiers the number of enemies required to consider surrounded can no longer reduce the required number of enemies below 1. You always need around 1 person. That's fair. I think the ones that reduce it to like 0 was just silly and kind of a unintended part of the change. So I'm fine with this. I didn't utilize that, but it was obviously really strong last league. A lot of people were using it. Rage generation now pauses rage decay, similarly to other means of gaining rage. This means your rage will never decay while it's regenerating. Never really did rage stuff, so cool though. Actually, while we're reading, let's just go sit on here. All rage spending costs have been changed to 10 rage. Rage can no longer cause visual effect on your character until you have 10 or more rage, so you know that you can use those abilities. First, what's up, Marshall? I didn't really use rage before. I don't know how many different abilities they had, but honestly, making it all cost 10 just makes it easier for you to remember. Someone who wants to do different rage generations or different rage spenders kind of thing. Now you should be like, oh, I need 10 rage. Flat blanket, don't have to like look up a specific number. So it's probably fine. Physical damage reduction from armor can no longer cause a hit to deal 0. This mostly targeted at preventing hits. Preventing cases where multi-hitting players' skills could do 0 damage to armored enemies at low levels. In these cases, they hit will now deal 1 damage. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Because sometimes, I mean, even 1 damage is a little bit silly. But level up your stuff, I guess, is the big thing. Still a little funny, though. You could be doing 0 damage to armored enemies. Yay, 1 damage. Yeah, that's like, that's not really big a game changer for me. If I'm doing 0 or 1 damage, I'm not gonna matter too much to an enemy that has like hundreds of health or whatever. Igniting aura effects, including ignited ground, no longer apply infinite ignites. Instead, they apply regular ignites with standard duration and will reapply them after the expired time the next aura applies some ability to the target, the same as the ignite has been removed from the target. I don't fully understand what this means because I guess I didn't do a lot of ignite. Seems fine though. Infinitely more damage, that is true. It is infinitely more damage, technically. Hey, Rocco. The ignite things seems like a bug fix. I don't think it's supposed to ever apply infinite ignites. That seems kind of insane. So that's probably fine. Because I didn't really play ignite, so. I'm not sure how many ignite aura effects there are. Hey, Wako. Get to the important stuff. Oh my god, Brocco, what'd you do? I think it is to reduce server interactions with burning ground. That helps with like the CPU load stuff probably too. Probably part of the that's fair. Could be part of the general improvements to improve CPU and like performance based stuff like that. Sounds good to me. I'd rather better service stability and better performance over not having infinite ignites. All skills granted by ascendancies are now automatically activated when granted. Some previously required player to manually activate them. Yeah, like Sorcery Ward, I have to go manually turn it on and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure. I remember talking about that last week. I mean, it's a minor thing, but like, okay. I don't know how many ascendancy skills there are that like do anything weird. Like, do any of them require spirit? Well, if you don't have no spirit, does it just warn you, or does it just not turn on? Kind of thing. Bringing that tech to Guardian in POE1. Honestly, I would love for them to allow you to add like gem sockets to like stuff like that. That's one of the things I like about the gem system in POE2 is that items that give skills and ascendancies that give skills, you can like actually add supports to them. I mean, I know items you can for some of them, like right, but like others you can't. Like obviously, like Death's Oath, that kind of stuff you can because you just put the sockets in the thing, but you can't do it for like Bone Barrier, that kind of thing. Insane streaks, big stonks. 35 is insane, actually. That is crazy, brother. Thank you for always taking it out. Appreciate it. All right, moving on to my favorite part: Deadeye nerfs. Uh, Wind Ward has been removed, so I have this pulled up here so I can look at stuff to see what the hell things were before. Because I never played most of these classes. I think this is Deadeye. So less damage taken per Tailwind was removed. Bullseye now requires called shots. Bullseye now applies 10 critical weakness instead of 5. That seems like a buff. And Bullseye requires called shots. Okay, so it like goes like Bullseye's out here kind of thing. I don't know what called shots does. It's called shots a bad node. And then added Mirage, Deadeye, Ascendancy. So this is I read this yesterday and I was like, isn't there already a Mirage skill? But I guess it's different. Because I don't know. What's the difference between this and the regular Mirage skill? Mirage Archer meta gem, you know? I guess you don't have to dodge roll. That's the difference. While active, firing a ranged attack. Yeah, so it's just like all it is just instead of the thing is just you fire something instead of dodging. And I assume you can't have both, right? Because they both create mirages. So you can't like dodge roll, create one, shoot, create another one. You cannot create another mirage while one exists. So I assume that they're both considered mirages, even though they're different skills. Uh, whatever. I guess. I already don't play Deadeye. I mean, nothing that they do to Deadeye is probably gonna make me want to play Deadeye. So, okay. Pathfinder, on the other hand, a little bit interesting. This I'm pretty sure is the Poison Prolift node that you removed. Right? Which is like one of like this one right here. Yeah, Poison Prolift node. They removed that. They removed Practical Remedies. I don't know. It's this thing. Oh, it's just like an immune to one ailment node. This is pretty cool though. I saw they also on this one the other day. The node is obviously different right here. So that's pretty sweet. Running Assault. I don't know. I mean, I imagine Unaffected by Slows is probably pretty comfy, especially because how frequent Chill Ground was and pissed me off last season. Fuck Chill Ground, chat. But can I be heavy stunned while sprinting? Does that mean like you can't be stopped from sprinting, or do you still get like a little bit knocked off your thing, or is it always a heavy stun when you get hit while sprinting? Does this just mean that you are immune to being in, you're getting your sprint interrupted? That's actually pretty good. I like that. You'll be stopped, just not knocked down and ready for Pound Town. Okay. Well, that's fine. Even that's still good. I mean, obviously not getting ganged up on is pretty nice. This right here is just the Scion node. It is a little interesting to me that they only pick like warrior, sorceress, and they pick like 3 certain ones, and like not all of them. Like there's no shadow or monk, I guess, whatever, and no druid starting one. So you only get the choice of those 3. I know shadows are next to it, but so is like Oh wait, it's only the 2 far away from it. I thought it was 3. I thought it was 3 things. It's only warrior and sorceress. I thought it was also like the dual marauder, not duelist, witch hunter person, mercenary. There you go. It's only these 2, and that's because they're not touching it, kind of far away. I feel like they could also throw in druid here though, right? Just be like the 3 not near it. It's whatever though. I mean, cool if you're trying to do some kind of weird, funky build that needs that area. They talked about how in their design philosophy for this game, the starting areas are actually weaker nodes, and the further you get away from them, the stronger the nodes become, because they don't want people to like do the M thing where you just jump from area to area to get all those strong nodes at the start. So I'm not sure how strong, going to here is going to be, other than if like you want necessarily I'm going to armor stacking, I want to get to armor easier kind of thing, or like you'll be intelligence based. So I mean it's kind of okay, kind of interesting. Makes it to where you go from a dex only area to a strength only area to an int only area. It's cool. I mean, either way, it's better than this. It's better than just immune to an ailment. As far as like build diversity goes. This right here is actually pretty interesting. So I don't think it gives you the points anymore, because right now Traveler's Wisdom is right here. It gives you 5 passive points. I don't know if it gives you that anymore, but instead it gives you more options for all these. So right here where it would be like one of these 3 options, you also get an additional 3 options, which is pretty cool. Right here. So it says Traveler's Wisdom now requires Path of the Seer, which is newly up here. Now instead grants attribute passives offer additional options, and you get 5% damage. Meowdy Tyler. 5% damage, 5% global defenses, or 5% cost efficiency. So that's pretty cool. And that's like on top. Like, you don't have to like. So instead of picking one of these, like say you're capped out your stuff, you're not stacking something. You can just start picking like global defense increase. That's pretty cool. I like that. More options is never bad. And you already get 4 passive points from the node before it, so technically 1 less passive point because it was 5 before, but think more utility, it's better. I would say overall, I like this a lot. People are gonna complain probably about the poison prolift thing, but I really hope that they get away from like certain prolift stuff being identity specific to ascendancies. Because one of my biggest complaints about POE1 is that like to get poison prolift, it's pretty much just Pathfinder or the Benno's knife. Obviously, they added the Fireborn thing, which I bought early on, which is now super expensive to help with that as well. But I think a mechanic as strong as prolift shouldn't be tied to like one ascendancy. It should be they just put it somewhere else, like an item or something like that, or like in a cluster. XD smile. But Pathfinder's pretty sweet. Deadeye, I don't give a shit. You can eat a dick. I don't know much about Amazon. I played a very small. No, I didn't play Amazon. I just played a little bit of the Huntress, and then I never finished it because I realized you couldn't play Reap. Elemental Surge reworked. We talked about this in the Discord yesterday. I don't like this. I understand that it consumes any charge instead of being specific ones, but I don't like that it's forcing you into lightning specific until you upgrade it, and then it goes to kind of like a little bit of everything. But like, let's say, what if I want it to be Amazon who wanted to do only cold damage? That's not an option. I can do a mix of damage, right? But like, I can't go. Oh, I only want to stack power charges because I only want to do cold damage. You know, that's the only thing. The only reason I didn't like it. I wish it was a little bit different, but honestly, chances of me playing an Amazon also super slim, so I'm not gonna be super bothered by it. Surging Avatar reworked now provides you when you consume a charge, trigger Arcane Surge. Oh, we already talked about that. It's just like the upgraded version of this. Yeah. I'm not gonna play Amazon probably either way. Okay. Ritualist. This is pretty cool because I was looking at Ritualist before. I was a little sad when I found out some stuff couldn't work with Reap. I think it was like I was trying to do Reap Bleed, and it was very annoying to get done as a Ritualist. So I ended up not doing it. I think we bowed out and we made a Chronomancer instead. But this is a buff. Huge amount more duration. So like just so much duration compared to what it used to be. And then the quality obviously gives it even more duration than it gave before. So for those who aren't aware, that's this node right here. Sorry. It's right here. Ritual Sacrifice. And if I remember correctly, Ritual Sacrifice essentially lets you. It's like a Headhunter stack, like a Soul Eater stack. If I remember correctly, I can look it up obviously, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. Hi all, what's up, Tricks? So essentially, you get longer uptime on your shoulder stacks, and then this one right here is what I was just talking about, the Boil Blood thing. Yeah, let's say Boil Blood. It does more damage, but the issue I had with it last league is what Marshall just said, is that it only hits non-unique monsters. Why does it keep moving every time I minimize out? Which doesn't say on here, but if we go look up Boil Blood. Why are you doing this? Oh, it's PoE1 thing. Give me the PoE2 wiki. Applies to non-unique enemies, and I was like, the issue with this is, I would only want it to apply. This is Blood Boil, not. Oh, shut up. No, that's fair. That's fair, but still, it should know what I was trying to say. But yeah, this only plays in non-unique enemies, which and it's like a slow debuff to stack on someone because it applies every 2 to 1.5 seconds. You get a stack, which is like a large amount of time to be around someone. And most people that are, sorry, most targets that are not unique will be dead before I get too many stacks of this. So it's kind of like whatever. More damage is cool, but probably still not going to be used. This might be used actually now though. All right, let's get to the cooler stuff though, because we don't give a shit about Ranger or Huntress. Am I right, chat? I'm right. Okay, cool. Warbringer. This is more of Marshall's kind of stuff. Imploding impacts now grants fully broken armor. You inflict increases all damage taken from hits instead. I do not fully understand the implication of that, but it sounds good. Just this node right here. So can you still break below 0, or does it say instead? Now also. So you still get the break below 0. Increases all damage taken from hits instead. Was it not taking all damage from... Is it because this before it was only physical damage? So is this all damage taken from hits? That includes like fire damage, that kind of stuff? Is that why this is good? This allows for elemental stuff. Is the cool part. Yay? Or nay? Yay or nay? And honestly, one of the things I was looking at doing lastly was playing this character as like a crossbow person, right? Because they added the molten thing, which I think is here. So this, I'm assuming this is getting reworked then, right? Or is this going to be stay here and not be taken by Warbringers because technically it already does the second or the last line? Either way, cool, opens up some cool paths. I mean, some of the Warbringers now considerably hits close-up enemies. Sounds like just a quality of life change there to where it actually hits people close to him. Oh, it's a still increased effect. Why are you moving it? Do I have two things open? No, it's only one. You're pissing me off. Oh yeah, 50% increased effect of it. I wonder if it'll be reworked. Fez had a picture of showing the trees all blacked out of what's not being changed and showing like in color or whatever what is being changed. I wonder if this, I can't remember if this area right here was part of the change or not. Well, we'll see when we get the changes, I guess. Titan. This is removed. That's fine. This is just this right here being added. So like, surprising strength was another node to give you 50% more damage heavies on an enemy. So you technically get less, but it's all one node now. And they added a much cooler thing. So like losing this is whatever because half of it's added into the node that you actually care about. And then they added another node that it sounds pretty cool. When every thread slam doesn't create a fissure, which causes you additional aftershock into each side of the initial area. So it's just like big hit. Yeah, it's less damage, technically, against heavy stun enemies. But I think much cooler overall, to be honest, because like that's these nodes right here. So here's crushing impacts. And here's the surprising strength. So it was 4 points before, and now you can technically get just 2 points. You can get the same benefit, a little bit less. And you can either choose to go beyond that far, or you can like obviously pick up, not even go any further, and just pick up other stuff here. Because I mean, there's cool stuff here, like obviously a huge amount of life there, and that kind of stuff. More armor, so like you can technically a buff if you only ever got crushing impacts and didn't go further. And I think a buff either matter what, because it's just less points. Pretty sweet. I think Titan's pretty good, and I think this is pretty interesting. I'll be fully honest, I didn't read this myself. Fishy actually read it for me on his stream, which is why I was like, ooh, ideas. And I don't fully understand the original Smith and Katava because it's just too many words. But each notable connected to the Smith's masterwork now grants 2 armor flat. What's its other bonuses? So that stuff is this right here is the Smith's armor work. So technically all these, even though I know some of them removed, chat, don't worry about that. But all these now have, in addition to what they already say, or what they will say now, they get 200 extra armor, flat armor, which is pretty nice considering you can only wear normal armor. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's a buff. Lots of stuff was removed. We're not gonna go through each one of those because annoying. Get glory generation, which I'm assuming glory generation is like the banner stuff. I never really do glory generation stuff, so I don't really know, but I'm assuming that's what the banner stuff is. Spiked plates in place of lead lining, which causes your body armor to get 100% thorn damage. People were playing thorns last league, so here's another way to play it, I guess. Add tribute, cause your body armor to get 30% increased spirit. Be a Smith and Katava. I mean, you already get like the animate weapon and stuff like that, so maybe it's like helping you be more of a minion build with Smith and Katava. That's not bad. And reduce crits by 100%, which is crazy because it was 50%. So that's like a huge buff for people who want to use that. This is also a huge buff. Heat proofing now causes body armor to grant a bonus equal to unaffected by all damaging elements, previously only ignite. So that's pretty sweet. Honestly, pretty based. And what I'm excited for is see how it works though. Fire spell and melee hit. Grant Bob also has no mana when triggering the socketed spells. So sweet. Because this already existed, it costed mana before. But it now also grants extra damage. So what I was thinking was putting Volcano and whatnot and doing like the bear thing, kind of like they did in the thing, but have like a Smith of a Katava bear Volcano Slammer. Because if you look at Volcano, it is a channeling spell, which I don't know if it'll necessarily work, but the initial part of the spell, it creates a volcano that fires projectiles. Channeling it causes extra projectiles and more damage. So I'm wondering if it'll create it no matter what. And then any slam near the volcano causes it to erupt, firing more projectiles. So I wonder if it'll work that way where I can trigger it with the thing and just keep on slamming with the bear and having a good time. I assume it would work. We'll see how it works with the channeling thing. I assume this part is not necessarily needed and this will work as is, but we'll see. We'll see. Temporary weapon also grants by against the anvil of Smith Katava now costing no mana. Like a bush trigger by its empowered attacks now deal 20% more at all levels and a base radius of 3 meters, previously 2.5. Okay, so what is this? Tempered weapon skill? Using curse immune? True. Okay. Honestly, this is weird to me that they have this random like. Oh, it's connected to here. It hangs over. Got it. I was like, why is it just hanging out here? I thought this came from here. That's so fucking funny. All right, now I see it. This is good, and then I like these two, but I don't know if I would want to go here to only grab one thing. That feels kind of wasteful. So I'm not sure what my fourth node would be. Man's weapon skill granted by a living weapon. So Katana now changes target less frequently and thus spends more time actively attacking. Additionally, as a mace, it now has a cooldown of 6 seconds from 10 seconds for its slam skill. That's a buff. Quarterstaff has cooldown 6 seconds for 10 seconds, sweep skill. And spear fixed a bug where the damage dealt while it was dashing towards the enemies didn't cover the full distance of the dash. Sounds all good. Alright, I guess we can read to see what these things were lost. So we lost padded plates. I hate you. Just want to use padded plates. So we don't get cold res anymore. We lost lead lining and heavy bracing. Stun threshold, whatever. Regenerate's a little unfortunate to lose, but okay. We still got all like the really good stuff. Like body armor grants 50% armor, applies to elemental damage is pretty big. Yeah, heat proofing, buffed heat proofing, which is nice. So not the worst. Do I just go this and then just go 3 nodes here? Or see, because I imagine that's 2 points, and I go this. Oh, does this not count as a point? It's not ticking it up. Oh, do I only get to pick one of these? How does this skill work? Anyone know? This point's free. You click it. Thank you, Tyler. Okay, so I technically can get 6 of these then, if I did this. Or I could get 2 of these if I did this. Okay, I was thinking I was only get 1 if I went all the way this way. Well, that's not bad. Interesting. I could build a Giga Juiced armor. Oh, the other binding is fine. It was this. So we lost both the cold or the lightning and the cold res. I misread the thing. Actually, 27 are not stinky. Rip. But I am stinky. But I am stinky. Now what? Only 2 for me, Rip. This is better. Chaos damage. I have 1 more point. Maximum life. I mean, we'll see how it looks. Okay, that's cool. It works that way though. Anyway, sounds interesting. I might end up playing this. We'll see. It really depends on if the volcano thing works or not with it, because that's kind of what it's all betting on. If the volcano thing works with the fire spell on melee hit, which I guess you could test in game already, because this is already in here. It's just not the no cost thing. Moving on. Infernalist. Seating body no longer grants while on high. Infernal Flame, you and your allies in your presence gain 50% damage as fire. Now does gain Elemental Archon when you cast a spell while Elemental Archon does not expire while High Flame. Okay. So you lose like the party buff and you gain just Elemental Archon. Who is starting Rolling Magma? No. No, thank you. So you lose a party buff, gain Elemental Archon, which Elemental Archon is just all the Archons combined in one. They put it all together instead of having it separate now. We don't know exactly what the damage numbers look like or anything like that, but that's the way it is. Moving on. This is the buff. Just damage reduction. Or sorry, life regeneration rate reduction for Blood Mage. Preparing for Vitality Boon to eventually show up. Smile. Stormweaver, Refracted Infusions now grant, when collecting an Elemental Fusion, get another one. Oh yeah, we talked about this. I brought this up. This is actually pretty cool. So it's not a chance anymore. You just get a random infusion, which just helps the whole wanting to be like an Elemancer kind of thing. Pretty sweet. And then Remnants you can get them farther away. Cool. Multiplying Squalls. So this is like how my tornado, I can only have like 3 tornadoes in POE1. Getting this, I could have 4 and technically now 5 with the buff. Is that what that means? Like some things are limited. You only have like, I can only have 1 storm up at a time, like 1 meteor up at a time kind of thing. This just gives you more of that. That's actually pretty cool. So this looks like pretty buffed. Not like Omega OP or anything like that, but good quality of life stuff. This looks really cool, depending on what elemental skills have limits on them that I care about. Here's where I care about though. Chronomancy. No longer ignores now ignores the curse limit, so essentially you get a free curse. It's like a 3+1 curse. Because it no longer cares how much curse limit you have, whatever. You'll just have this on top of it, which is nice. And this was buffed. It used to do 20% and 33%, and now it's 50% extra damage. Which is huge. So kind of interesting, especially a good burst. Because you can actually make it to where this has like the curse, the interval of agony, has a lower duration and just burst someone and just watch their health just like deplete. Or just have the same regular duration and just do a constant burst for a good bit, and then just it kind of acts like a calling strike, I guess, if you do enough. So a buff. I might actually use this now instead of using other stuff. So many good nodes in the Chronomancer now. So was it calling strike? Yeah. Gimling Legionnaire. I don't really care for Gimling Legionnaire, but I'll read it anyway. Grants +1 maximum cold rest for 3 blue sockets. Previously 4. Oh, previously you needed 4 to get 1+1. Got it. Okay. Extra max res, less requirement. Charge once every 5 seconds. Previously once every 8 seconds. All right, both slight buffs. I was not gonna make me play the class. I don't think it's interesting, but for people who do play it, woo! But it's a dragon's breath. I'm more interested in the dragon wing slap thingy. You went on wing slap thingy, chat. Supporting fire skill granted by Unleash. Oh, sorry, Tactician. Supporting fire skill granted by Unleash Hell notable passive skill has been updated. Command Death from Above. Cooldown is now 20 seconds, previously 40 seconds. Reduction. Now fires volley every 0.75 seconds, previously 2 seconds. Reduction. Now fires 6 volleys instead of 4. Awesome. 14 meters instead of 7.5. That's huge, especially what they were using in the thing. Attack damage is lowered to compensate, but you're attacking over twice as fast with it. So this is all technically a buff, I would say. I don't know how I played Tactician and I didn't really care for the skill, so I don't know. That being said, I played Tactician and they removed the one I cared about, which was the immobilization build-up, so that's sad. Obviously, skill speeds were probably cooler for other people, but I liked this. And then Marshall will like this, which is the spell totems grant increased hit chance. Marshall loves totems. Yeah, single hit lower, overall damage up, yeah. But all this stuff looks like it mostly a buff. Like, obviously, people will care about skill seal more. Ayo, what's up, Smug? Hey, Smug, I added a thing. You can talk to your friends now without me having to relay messages. That's Smug. I don't know why it shows Smug's non-Smug name, but that's just been like that for like a last week. That's the heavy strike enjoyer. But all this looks like pretty much okay. Like, this is all like buffs of what people probably playing totems would want. That's why I see Marshall's name. Yeah, I added a bot that kind of relay messages back and forth. That way people can talk to each other and you don't feel so alone. And then your message goes over to Twitch in a similar fashion. Yeah, I saw it on another streamer, Barricade. I was watching him. He's like a pretty cool guy. And he had it, and I was like, what the hell? I want a cool bot that does that. And I looked into it, and yeah, it's not allowed, because as long as I'm not showing it on the stream itself, like on my screen, it's fine to combine chats. Anyone still play PL? I don't know. I probably won't be playing it because I'm probably gonna be starting. I might either do a little bit of variety this weekend, and then go into POE1 practice or POE2 practice next week, leading into the thing. But I'm probably done with the private league, so if you need something, just let me know. That being said, I won't be streaming tomorrow either way. I'll be going to do stuff with the wife on Saturday. We have plans to go to Ren Fair and then maybe go see some Christmas lights, stuff like that. So we're doing that tomorrow. But no stream tomorrow. All right, technician looks like a buff for people who care about it. None of this really interests me, but people who like it, go ahead. There you go. Marshall says he's still playing every once in a while. That being said, the class I care about, Witch Hunter, ayo, big buffs coming. Now enemies maximum concentration is equal to 30% of maximum life instead of 40%. I love that they put this as a buff here because I feel like most people would say, oh, it's a nerf because 40% is bigger than 30%. But you want the number to be smaller because your concentration is now 30% instead of their concentration being 40%, which is more. So I love that they put this as a buff here to stop the Redditors from just losing their shit because number gets smaller. Yeah. This is a buff. Please learn to read. And then this right here is actually huge. So before, this is what it gave. It gave increased effect, which is cool and like recovers whatever. But now it doesn't. I'm assuming it doesn't do this. I think it's instead, right? Or is it? Yeah, now instead. But now, so Sorcery Ward used to only apply to elemental damage, but now if you take that node, it applies to physical and also chaos damage. So huge defensive buff for Witch Hunter. Very, very cool. Love it a lot. And then this is just a good buff for being able to break concentrations. That being said, I probably would still just do the same thing I did before, which is these two nodes and then these two nodes, because I think Dismaying Strike and Calling Strike are still OP as shit. But obviously you can go through Witchbane and whatnot and be fine. And then this is actually pretty interesting now with whatchamacallit, like the bear and stuff, like you can bear form and whatnot. Cool. Invoker has some interesting stuff, but I don't know if I'm caring enough about monks to do it. So this skill right here, they buffed it to where it's less evasion. You see 50% less, now it's only 35% less. This one right here is actually pretty interesting if you're using meta skills. So cock get big, you know? Soul Springs Eternal is what it was called before. Or still is called, rather. This one right here. So just they gain more energy. And now they additionally do that. They do that and they also have reserve less spirit, which is really cool. So if you're doing a cock build, Invoker's kind of pretty good right now. Cocks get big. Unbound Avatar has a cooldown now, which is a little bit gross. But you do no longer have like a disruption in gaining your elemental or your Unbound Fury. But it does also gain less per ignite or shock kind of thing. But probably fine overall. TBH. And these two are definitely a buff. These are more questionable depending on how it goes. I haven't used the skill, so I don't really have a lot of input on it. It had like a 0.5 second cooldown before, and that's a 12 second cooldown, so that's pretty huge. But you don't have to worry about the no more than once every seconds for each ailment thing. Chalupa. I don't really Chalupa chat. You can see the numbers are bigger. So it's obviously buffs. I just don't think it's ever going to be a class that I want to play. If I were to play a monk, I would play Invoker. This just seems like a mini game inside of a video game, and I don't really want to play it. For those who enjoy it, I'm sure they're really happy with this. 3 cooldown charges versus 1. Seems pretty cool. All the numbers have gone... numbers that you want to go up have gone up. Pretty sweet. Is that Chalupa? Yeah, exactly. That's it for the Sensi changes. Like I said, the ones I care about, Witch Hunter and Chronomancer are the ones I have on my list so far. Right here and here. And then Kitava. I'm pretty excited for like these rough ideas I put. Planet Coral seems pretty sweet. If it plant skills end up being really cool. Honestly, anything Oracle seems pretty cool. Might just do anything Oracle. And then I could do Tornado Wyvern Oracle. Who knows? We'll see. It depends on what the Oracle really gets from their passive tree. It's all about the Spicy Gorilla anyway. Oh, sorry, Spicy Gordita. Gorilla. I don't know how to read chat. Good old Spicy Gordita. So everything I cared about was like buffed. and everything that was like, super interesting got changed. The only thing I really took like a nerf was, I'd say, like Deadeye. Everything else pretty much got like a buff, right? We play POE, not read. True. Passive tree changes with addition, blah 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 blah. All kinds of stuff have been changed. 250 new passive skills in the at the side of the tree. Values of flammability magnitudes in the tree have increased massively, so they want people to be igniting more, I suppose. All flame, ice, and lightning archons have been changed to elemental archon to better support the multiple element playstyle. Archon related passives in the tree have been adjusted to accordingly and condensed. Hollow Palm got nerfed, deservedly so. Does it need to be 75? I don't know, it might be too high. Maybe 50 is a better one, but like 25 was definitely way too low of a number for the evasion rating attack speed thing. But they did also compensate a little bit by giving you more base attack speed to unarmed attacks. So Hollow Palm definitely needed a change. I think this is probably fine. This is the mana leech node, if I remember correctly. It's like right here somewhere. I don't know. It's in this area somewhere. I think mana leech is okay, I'll just type it. Watcher. What was it called? Watcher? No, obviously not. Walker. Walker. I was close. Mana Leech is based on elemental damage instead of physical damage taken. So Lightning Arrow Deadeyes are gonna cry because they have to figure out how to handle mana now, that kind of stuff. So I'm happy with nerfing Deadeyes. I'm fine with this. That being removed and turned into a lineage support is fine with me. It also gives people on the opposite side of the tree a way to leech stuff elementally, which is nice. So not bad. People like cry, but it's okay. Cold infusion remnants when you create fire, fire remnants when you create lightning, and lightning remnants when you create cold. I don't do remnant stuff. I didn't do any of the special elemental stuff they had done last season because it looked okay. It looked like it was not worth the effort of like trying to balance it out. This is a buff. That's this right here. It does change your base duration to 1 second from 5 seconds. So you have to consider that. But I mean, if you're applying bleeds fast enough, it's fine. Because like, it's not, bleeds aren't like unless bleeds are different POE2. Bleeds aren't like stacks, right? Like it's not like poison stacks. So you only have one bleed as your biggest bleed. So the fact that it's 1 second or like 5 seconds isn't too big of a deal unless you're like hitting someone and running away kind of a thing. If you're like single targeting a person down, yeah, it's just one. Okay, still, I was making sure it wasn't different. And at the same time, I was talking fishy about this. You're right. This right here totally works with it. So duration of it's a damaging ailment. So if this right here and the small nodes like lead up to it, either get magnitudes or duration, which help. There's also duration, I think, on one of the bleed trees over here. I forgot where it was at exactly. Is it here? Yeah. So there's a little bit of bleed duration on the tree to help make up for some of the loss. And then, probably there's some on gear or something like that you can look into as well to go to like 2 seconds if you really care about it or something like that. But I think it's fine. I mean, bleeding aggravated already is huge damage. And the fact that it's 50% more magnitude of bleeding you afflict, that seems pretty big. Prison Assault got me thinking about bleed. Yeah, this actually seems pretty good. Passes that reduce movement speed penalties from using skills while moving in the passage tree have had their values lowered. They added more passives to compensate, so you just have to spend more points to essentially do the same thing you did before. Honestly, I didn't really do these points before. Like, if I had them, like, great. Like, I only picked up maybe like one like here or something like that. I don't know. It's like one of the little side nodes I picked up. But like, I saw some people were doing like the entire like clusters of like movement speed penalty things. I'm okay with being a little slower. Nerf to Dead Eyes again. Smile. Add 3 new attack area clusters to the monk part of the tree. That's pretty cool. I don't play monk part of the tree. I haven't yet, rather. But, I mean, they probably love area effect. It is attack specific. But, maybe okay. Projectile speed clusters past the tree in the mercenary area. I don't think crossbow stuff interacted with that. So I'm assuming it's other projectile things, but that's kind of cool. Just like more clusters in general. New bow cluster modified the projectile cluster in the ranger section, granting surpassing chance to fire an additional arrow. Is surpassing the name of the thing, or am I just... No. Oh, so it's kind of like the chain thing where you get like used to get like 100% chance to or increased chain or whatever kind of thing. They do the same thing for additional arrow. Got it. Called remnant. They don't say what this is, but I'm assuming it just attracts remnants. Okay. Now has remnants that we can collect it 30% further away, previously 20%. Grant tribute the notable the Heart of the Well unique jewel now has remnants can be collected from 80% further away if you have at least 100 tribute. I didn't use any of the tribute jewels when I played last season. So I don't know how hard it is to get this or if this is like a useful jewel. More remnant stuff, remnant stuff, remnant stuff. Presence area effect. Pure power no longer grants 2% lightning damage per 10 intelligence. Now instead grants 10% more maximum lightning damage. Interesting. Also, interesting they had like a per intelligence scaling thing on the tree. I didn't know that. No longer grants more maximum lightning damage. Now grants damages extra lightning. Damages extra cold. Plus 10 dexterity. Okay. Rename something. Change stats on a lot of stuff. With about companion stuff. Cool. Gem stuff. Crescendo. Are now intelligence support gems. Previously dexterity. I don't know what Crescendo did. They get moved. Perpetual charge is intelligence support gem. Previously dexterity. Interesting. Mark of death. Strength gem. Previously dexterity. They said fuck dexterity, bro. Don't get too much. Anything here that anyone wants to point out? This, I think, actually used Ricochet 3 at one point. Actually, that's a good point. What did I use? Oh my god. Make me log in? Okay, thank you. So I did use Ricochet 3. No, my Ricochet 3 is gone. Well, Inevitable Crit is named to Inexorable Crit 1 support. World Drop lineage supports now less common overall. Specific lineage supports have been adjusted relative to others. Bunch of lineage support buffs. Like, I'm not gonna read all these, but you can see like the numbers are just bigger. No cost multiplier, huge. 40% from 20%. 40%. All these are 20%. Modifiers last for 5 minutes instead of 40 seconds. That's just like a gigantic amount of duration. Echo 3 times, previously 2. And area effect. Oh yeah. So yeah, so I don't remember. I used some of these at some point. So I used Lunathal's Embrace, but I don't know if I actually liked it. I got Rotha's Assault. That one actually was good. I like Rotha's Assault because it essentially reload when you dodge, and I'd be dodging chat. And Gorukan's Resolve. Well, it's 5 bolts when you die. Previously 3. 4 additional bolts. Previously 3. And it has increased attack speed. So honestly, just a buff. That's a W, chat. Oh, okay. This one I wouldn't use anymore then. It's just better crit chance. I mean, I guess it's okay, right? But like, I'd use it mostly for this. Chain support. We gotta talk about this on the thing. Um, does it say it doesn't do the less damage on the third one? But that just makes the third one. If it doesn't, I don't know. It's kind of weird, right? Because like the whole reason when they talked about making the tiers of the support gems, they're like, oh, 1 and 2, like 1 is going to be improved by 2, and then if they have a third one, the third one will be something that's unique to the third one. And the way it's looking is they're just making it be the same, pretty much, as this, but like better because it does 40% instead of 50%. So it's not really something that's unique. It's just the same. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. We'll see how it looks like when it actually launches or whatever. Impact Shockwave can now support non-strike wind attacks. They did mention they added a bunch of wind tags to a bunch of gems. So that's kind of interesting. Interesting enough to do something? Who knows? But interesting nonetheless. Alright. Moving on to skill changes. Frozen Mandibles no longer be bound as a specter or a chained beast. That was the one people called ants, right? Oh, 07 minion players? Okay, they nerfed the one that everyone used, I think. I'm pretty sure everyone used this one, right? By nerf, I mean they removed it. But it seems like they buffed a bunch of the other ones to hopefully make people use a little bit more variety instead of just using everyone using ants. And it's like they're going to do it, release information about it in a separate post, which is fair. Especially if there's a lot of them, it would be it'd be stuck in these patch notes forever. Are now displayed. There was per target limits on hailstorm rounds. I saw them using hailstorm rounds in the trailer, and it looked way cooler than it does now. So I wonder if it's because they changed the skill, or if it's like they had a build that just utilized it really well. Double the duration buff. You see, like they added wind to like a lot of stuff. So all these can have impact shockwave on them now. Including tornado shot? Question mark? Or is it only still support like? Does it say melee specific or something like that? That does make sense because then tornado wouldn't work that way. Invocation skills now have an eternal cooldown. Reason salvo is now offered as a tier 3 gem, tier 3 gem, tier 4 gem. I don't remember the tiers of gems, chat. Not the skip gems. Here's the 13. So being tier 4, what was the attrition before? Yeah. Attrition was a spirit gem though, right? That was a skill gem. Tier 14, so this moves up quite a bit. It was like tier 12, yeah, tier 14 is where it was at. Thank you, NVIDIA. Busy end campaign. That being said, like, you gotta fight for 30 to 40 seconds to get Culling Strike? Yikes. Yikes. This uses 60 spirit? Not around here, Bina. Bolting Impact now offered as a tier 5 gem. I wish they showed what they were offered as before next to here so I'd have like a better idea of like, oh, this is earlier, this is later. Because I don't play most of these skills. So I don't know if they are good. Going for bosses, they hit damage really? That's fair. But still, 60 is kind of a lot, right? I would say 60 is a lot at least. Ancestral Cry, Volcanic Eruption now deals. Yeah, scaled to 30. Oh, okay, it goes to a 30 reservation. Oh, right here. Okay, that actually, okay, now I'd actually use it. I'm gonna say, it feels like 30. I might actually use it. And it is. Way to go, Marshall. I'm getting there. Volcanic Eruption now deals, more, that's a lot more attack damage, by the way. What's Ancestral Cry do exactly in this game? Would this be good with the bear and the volcano plan? Because the bear has that roar that triggers like a war cry. That's 100 glory to use. How do you get glory? You can ignite someone to get glory. So have to be like an ignite bear. I don't know if they showed Ancestral Cry or not. They showed, I think, Infernal Cry actually. Which is the idea, put on my sheet thingy. Nolan has less totem attack speed. Marshall, log in. Marshall loves totems. Arc buffed. Arc armor. Looks like it gives less damage. Yeah. We already talked about. Oh, Armor Breaker is buffed. Armor Breaker does more damage now. Yeah, at higher levels. About the same early on, but scales higher. Like Armor Breaker was the one that people played in point one before they changed the way like the armor explosion thing happened or worked. Whatever they nerfed it, I think. Trisha we already talked about. Ball lightning. Looks like it has better damage. I'm not gonna read that. It's a whole paragraph. Barrier Invocation now reserves more better reservation stuff. Excellent. Excellent. Grants no longer grants more skill speed while you have it. Now grants increased skill speed while you have it. So we lost the more multiplier. It's just increased now. It's whatever. More buff. More damage buff. Do more. For the most part, it looks like most of the stuff is just being buffed. I'm sure there's some nerfs in here, but it's like for the most part, they're buffing a lot of things. Hey, we love reservation reduction. The damage here was nerfed, but the attack speed was buffed by a lot. And they convert more fizz to lightning. Interesting. Bigger explosions, but less damage on the explosions. And less fragments. But you get chance to chill afflicted as freeze build up. Okay. Is there any skills in here that I actually care about that I'm potentially going to play? Fangs of Frost was something I looked at one point, but it looked a little silly. But it looks like this part's buffed, the explosion part's down. 8 seconds versus 4 seconds sounds good. So, could be good. Fragmentation rounds. They now pierce 2 targets in gym level 1 and 5 at later levels. That's this, right? Okay, it is. So that means if I freeze a bunch of people now, instead of only blowing up the first guy I shoot, because it didn't pierce before, right? Yeah, so you're only shooting the one target. So now it's easier for me. Oh, it says bolts pierce 2 targets. It goes up to 5, so it's just better for bigger clear stuff. Also, projectile speed increased by 50%, so a buff. Starts off being the same, ends up being better, scales to better. Got it. Marks no longer cause explosion. I remember Fish talking about this. It looks like all the marks are being changed to no longer do explosives or help with clear. It's mostly marks are being used for like single target purposes, which makes more sense to thematics of what a mark should do. You don't mark an entire squad, you mark usually one target to take out that priority target. So I'm fine with that. Frozen Locusts. Oh, I heard Ghost Dance got hard nerfed, which is great. Fuck them. Yo, what's up, Mick? All right, Hailstorm rounds. This is what I wanted to look at. Now stores 40 to 50, previously 20. Okay, so it stores more bolts. Attack damage has been lowered, but it has more reload speed. and now has equal chill magnitude inflicted as freeze buildup. But you can do more bolts, like double the bolts. So the slight loss in damage doesn't matter because you're unloading just a shit ton of bolts now. But if I remember correctly, my issue with the Hailstorm bolts is you have to wait to fill it up. Passively generates bolts frequency equal to reload. Oh, it's equal to your reload time. So if you get faster reload time, they'll go up. So what they were doing, they were just having, and now they have even more reload speed. So you're going to be gaining bolts a lot faster. So in that thing where they were showing, they must have just had a shit ton of bolt reload speed. Okay. You know what? Now that I read that a little bit better, I actually be able to work with that. Maximum 10 explosions per blast. Let's go. Now consumes 15 heat to gain 100% more ignite. Previously 30 heat to gain 50. I mean, that's a big buff. Incendiary shot was also one of the ones I was considering doing with like an incendiary shot, like crossbow. I think it was like Warbringer. But then I was like, oh wait, it's the damage with hits, so breaking the armor doesn't really make the ignites better, kind of thing. Still cool though. I'm assuming this is a nerf here, and if it is, awesome. Full grenade now has a cooldown of 4 seconds versus 5. Duration of 6 seconds versus 5. That's pretty good. Purpose bolts. Pierce 2 targets at gem level 1. 5. So it's the same thing earlier. Increase. So it's the same thing. So literally Permafrost bolts fragmentation just got buffed. Every part of it just got received buffed, which is amazing. We love that for us. If I end up playing it again, we love that for us potentially. Grenades are looking better too, so you can always go grenade build. Better cooldown, better duration of like effects. Internet hiccup. Oh yeah, we did lose a little bit. Hopefully it's not too bad. Looks like it stopped already by the time you said something. So hopefully it's fine. Reap now has a higher base crit. Smile. Hey, Sunder buff. Sunder buff. Limit to of plants at gem levels. Wind Dancer got nerfed. Fair. Grand Spectrums buffed. This right here nerfed? No, buffed. They gain the weakness for longer potentially. Yeah, the poison stuff looks like it's like this is the one that puts stuff on the floor, right? Like it surrounds you in like a poison area and buffs up your attacks or something like that. And then toxic growth, more pustules. Pustules. Can't be bad. This is reverting the nerf because I want to say it used to be this. They nerfed it to this, and they now changed it back to. Well, no, it used to be much better than this, right? It was like 666%. So it's like half of. They buffed it a little bit to raise it back up after nerfing it pretty hard previously. That's why it says existing versions of this item can be made better or worse with a Divine Orb. Good luck. Hilarious. Adorned. Buff. All this looks like a buff. Like, look at these numbers. Huge differences. Struggle Scream, just like me for real. Zoph's Blood going 25% though is pretty big. Cannot Volbear be Terabad? Yeah. His Zoph's Blood looks pretty good. That's a huge amount of resistance increase. 30, 40 to 50, 100. Oh, these increase resistances higher as well. Potentially unnerf Fallen. I wish Fallen was an armor base instead of a ward base in POE1. Then maybe potentially Shield Crush could use it. Smile. 30% to 40% less damage. It's pretty good. I don't know what this item is, but I buffed. 20 seconds to 10 seconds. Yeah, all this looks like a buff for the most part. Is there anything in items that was nerfed? Previously 25% less damage. Now it's 20% more damage. What? Honestly, not bad. Pin, freeze, electrocute. I was doing this build. Oh, it drops from Arbor of Ash. I never killed Arbor of Ash. That's probably why I've never seen him. I don't know how expensive these gloves are, but that's pretty cool. Also, they're better defensively. Woo! Lots of defensive buffs, though. Rat Pit nerf. There we go. We got one. We found the nerf. Whispering Ice, huh? Getting buffed? Tyler, log in. Dancing Queen. Yeah. It's a lot of buffs, too. 5 to 7 to old school instead of 2 to 4. 5 to 10% instead of... Oh, wait, this is a nerf, I guess. The percent intelligence goes down. Spell damage per intelligence also went down. So it was, they buffed the spells up here. Oh, they also buffed the resistance exposure on hit by a lot. So they nerfed the scaling of it per intelligence stuff, but they buffed everything else about it. And that's a lot of exposure. Up to 60% exposure versus like 30 before. That's huge. Log in, chat. Dancing Queen. To be fair, there's no Cyclone, right? In POE2? Or am I wrong? So like cast while channeling isn't really a thing like it is in POE2 or POE1. The Covenant. Covenant's just pretty much wear this and you are now a Blood Mage. It's like the Blood Mage ascendancy. Alright. Spicy. Ooh, Cloak of Defiance getting more mama effects pretty big. 30% to 50%. Well, Toxic Rift got buffed on its top end damage. Your critical hit chance cannot be re-rolled. So I guess this means that like things that make you have unlucky crit just don't. You just roll once no matter what. Kind of cool. Ghost Wraith buff, log in. 30% versus 25. Cloak of Flame is 50% versus 40. It's better than POE1's Cloak of Flame. I'm pretty sure a POE1's Cloak of Flame is 40. Lightning Coil's also getting a buff. So there's a range roll. They do base types of some stuff. Previously 20% reduced, now it gives increased. So they're reverting some of the things where people are like, oh, they're doing a thing where they do a negative and a positive. Looks like they're reverting a lot of things that are not a lot of things, but they're reverting some things that are negative positive, just making it all positive. That's good. They're taking that feedback, I guess. I don't know this item, but it has a lot of stuff. I'm assuming these are random modifiers you get on it, not all one item. Otherwise, they buff something Giga Juice because like all these are pretty big increases. But imagine it's like you grab like 4 of these mods, kind of an item. Harizar, remove chill duration, and add cold damage to attacks. Now gain damage is extra and freeze duration. Queen of the Forest. Oh yeah, talk about this one with Fishy in Fishy's chat because they were like, "Oh, it's technically a nerf because they capped it at 50% or whatever." And then I did like math, and I was like, "Yeah, but you start with 25, and you also have less evasion needed to get 1%. So at 30k evasion, you're capping out essentially at 75% movement speed. To get 75% movement speed the old way, you gotta get 60k evasion." Hello? What are you doing? Oh, okay. Um, so you need 60k evasion the old way to get 75. So you need half of the amount of evasion to get the same amount of movement speed. Obviously, you're capped there, but when we also does also have it open? I'm gonna say I don't think I have it open anymore. But we also looked up that's not it. I looked up like stats from last league to see what the like people who had a lot of evasion, like what the max people were reaching. There are some people who reached 100,000. I'll look it up right now just to showcase for people who are like worried about Queen of the Forest, which not a lot of people are playing Queen of the Forest in the first place. But if you go over here and you add evasion wherever it's at, there it is. There are like 10 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 people who are over 6k, or sorry, 60k. And of those 8 people, there's like 3 who are using Queen of the Forest. So these 3 people right here, they're gonna be really upset about this nerf. These 3 guys are gonna hate it. Tai Speed, absolutely gonna hate this. But for did my internet just disconnect, or did Teddy just step on something to refresh it? Dream dead. Could be good now. Yeah, Teddy was walking on my keyboard. I think he might have stepped on something. Stop it. No, you go away. No more, Teddy. Go away. I don't know if it was a disconnect because of him or because of what. He was stepping on my keyboard and hit something. That hurt. Boom. Anyway, buff. Lightning Coil has a cool skill thing that does like chain lightning off of it. I forgot about that. And now it has like additional ones. You don't see things. There we go. My bad. Thank you for letting me know. Teddy, what did I just say, buddy? Fire Lightning Bolt now has 5 cooldown uses, but it's only 1. Okay. Honestly, most things seem like they buffed a lot. They obviously nerfed a couple things, but mostly buffs, so call that a win. Rune sockets have now been renamed to augment sockets. Renaming some stuff. Oh yeah, this is what we talked about where they nerfed all the limits of the special like runes. People were just like grabbing like 3 of these and just putting 3 of these on instead of putting like other things. So they're trying to diversify, make people diversify a little bit. I'm fine with that. I think the special ones especially should be limited. So that's fine. I'm fine with that. People will cry about it, but they'll be okay. Also, the amount of drama from people on like the subreddit, so fucking funny. Why is GGG ruining my game? They made so many promises and they're not fulfilling it. Nothing. It's just people being little babies. Here, I'll go show you real quick. Pull up Reddit. Look, there you go. First one. Nerfing makes no sense. This was positive. They like the art. Fuck you, bot. uh. Oh, this is what I was talking about. So this is someone data mined it or whatever already. This is what the changes are on the passive tree. So we don't know exactly what they are, but you can kind of see where things were changed at on the passive tree. I don't like this. Oh, rip. Rip you, bozo. So obviously this area has the most impact and stuff like that. But like for instance, if you're worried about something, you could go check to see. I'm assuming red means it's removed, green means it's added. I don't know. We know this is removed, so I'm assuming that's what it means. Now there's a lot of overlap between red and green. Some things. Yeah, exactly. Quick miss. But you can kind of see. I saw this on Fishy Stream. Please reconsider the changes to charges for spell tomes suggestions. 20 days they fought. Yeah. Can't believe people are disappointed in today's reveal. Yeah, people were shit talking in today's reveal. If you go into the actual reveal thread, it was like the worst thing ever. It was gotten better because it's been like 20, well, not 24 hours, but it's been like 24ish hours, so people might have had time to. Give you a minute. All right, one second, chat. Wife needs me real quick. Entertain yourselves. I'm back, chat. Where is my phone? There it is. POE builds like the only place that isn't toxic, and then you get people that stuff there too. I never look at Reddit because they hit on everything. Yeah. I like to go there just to kind of see what people's ideas are. Usually I hang out the other one, which is why I hang out the builds ones for both POE2 builds and POE1 builds. But I like to see what kind of shit show people think on patch release dates and stuff like that. They had one person who was like, at this point, they should just kill POE1 because obviously it's holding POE2 back. And that was a really fun comment to read. Yeah, so patch getting more hate than it deserves, so people are like now defending it and stuff like that. But like initially, yesterday, there was so much. Also, this looks cool as hell, by the way. Fucking dragon, demon bear. Fuck yeah. Fuck that guy? Yeah, fuck that guy. But there are a lot of cool people on here on the regular one, like the build one. Right? Sorry. All right, moving back to this. So a lot of people are upset by like limited stuff. I think it's fine. The biggest issue I have with people who are like, "Oh, they limited this thing right here," or whatever kind of thing. It's like people complain constantly about how their GG's not doing anything to shake up the meta or like change things. And then GG changes things because they'll be like, "Oh, everyone's just playing Deadeye because it's the only good class." And then GG like nerfs Deadeye and starts buffing other things. People are like, "Oh my god, they nerfed Deadeye. Now I can't play it anymore." It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But it's whatever. I don't want to go through all this stuff because whatever. I want to talk about this part though. Spell damage with spells that cost life desecrated mod on stabs now rolls higher. So that's really cool. And then Foci no longer can roll the top 2 tiers of spell damage and specific damage modifiers. So they're moving Foci. Foci gets more energy shield now instead. So they're moving Foci to be like more defensive, and then the 2-handed stabs and stuff like that to be more damage oriented and whatnot, which I think is kind of cool. And it goes into the whole like very similar play style of like, oh, do I do 1-handed and a shield, or do I do a 2-hander for more damage kind of a vibe that like melee characters have, right? So I think that's a cool change. Why don't you focus on these nuts? Rip. They also buffed changed a lot of different things. So like this now war cries empower additional attack instead of previously crushes enemies on hit. I don't know if that's a better or not, but it is different. It does have more base damage, which I think is just better. Awesome. Super great. This now has to crush enemies on hit. And its damage is a little bit less. An Anvil Maul crushes enemies on hit. Damage a little bit less. Okay, like so there's obviously some changes here for people who are looking at weapons. Some spear changes as well. They also nerfed plus levels. So you'll see as we get down here, like it goes from, instead of giving +2, now it only gives +1, that kind of stuff. Instead of giving +4, now it gives +3, kind of thing. So a lot of stuff got nerfed level wise, which I think is needed because it put a lot of pressure on people just getting like levels is the only way to really scale stuff. So they tried to move off of levels and put more power into non-necessary levels. Big spell bonk or tanky spell bonk? I don't know if I'm playing or not. That's fair. Tell people all the time, play what excites you. You do not have to play every game that comes out. You want to grip it with Coolamac? You can. But yeah, like they changed some essence and stuff like that, some of the crafting. There's also no more of the. I think someone said there's no more of the omen of homogenized exaltation or whatever. which is one of the deterministic omens to craft like super strong gear. Great. I'm fine with that. Everyone already knew that crafting was too strong last league, and that something had to be done about it. So I'm not too worried about losing one omen. Pack size doesn't scale tier. Now it's effectiveness. We talked about that already. I'm not gonna go over it fully. Our Vash no longer drops a rare corrupted tablet. Rip. All tablet modifiers that would roll on generic precursor tablets now roll on all tablet base types. The following tablet modifiers have been disabled. I'm not gonna read all these because I didn't really read them before. You'll figure it out. Not gonna read monster objectives. Not gonna read this. Honestly, most of the stuff at this point I'm not gonna read. Bruce Cat. Cool. Anyone have anything that we didn't go over that you wanted to talk about, or you are super excited for? Also, I'll put on Star Quest stream now, and I'm going to delete a bunch of ones that are old, including this one. So we are on Star Quest Fridays. We actually didn't add a lot of songs last week, which is fair. So I might leave some of these just on here, so we have a little bit of variety going to the playlist. All right, so I'll leave all the songs from last week on here. I'll delete all the ones 2 weeks or older. We got 44 songs, which starts with here. Feel free to add your songs. What was the question? Oh, does anyone have anything that they noticed in the notes they want to talk about? If not, I might just go play some POE2. Play a little bit of Act 1. Marshall added a song. Hopefully that's the right one. Oh, thank you. All right, we're gonna eat our food and then we're gonna talk about Patch Note, and then we'll play a little bit of the game. Also, we'll see how I feel when I get off tonight. I'm really tired recently, and yet still unable to sleep. So, depressed maybe? I don't know. He is asking me to jerk it, yeah. Arcing it back with the boys. To jerk it a little, you know? It's Friday. Did they add the water doors talking about Enshrouded? I don't know. I haven't looked at any updates for Enshrouded. Are they supposed to add water doors? Like to open to like a dam? Like this is a smaller patch. I guess next patch might do the thing you're talking about. This is just a small update to help fix some crashes. Looks like the latest NVIDIA driver. Oh yeah, we get underwater base. Is there like really deep water in the new area? Yeah, I didn't see the new base. Hello. We need to examine Xeri. Get out of here, Gooner. No one's examining it at Xeri, chat. Smug. For research purposes. Oh, just saved it? Okay, thanks. Save that for later, Smile. Where's the reveal trailer at, actually? Maybe we just watch the trailer, you know? Fate of the Vol trailer. POE. Pretty good, chat. I know Marshall's a man of culture. There you go, chat. This is what you wanted? This part right here? Alright, moving on, chat. I know Marshall's a man of culture. Curse closed captions. All I hear is music, so I don't hear. Oh, got it. You're right, chat. That's on me. Here we go.
Come now. 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 Come now.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. What's up, Nate? Welcome to the party. New redeem. Quick, so funny, chat. All right. Now change this to show POE2 now. There we go. Also name my camera. Down here-ish. I don't know. Let's play a video game. From our list, what do I want to try first? I obviously can't do the plant stuff, can't do the oracle stuff, can't do the Wi-Fi stuff. So I gotta practice either leveling a warrior, leveling a mercenary, or leveling a sorceress. Do some druid runs? Oh shit, I just said I can't do that one. Minion, I will never do that. And I'm probably not gonna practice to the point to where the build actually becomes fully developed. Honestly, for what I'm practicing, I'll probably just practice like Act 1, maybe 2, just to get that time down a little bit. Because I imagine most of my time spent is definitely in the early acts. I'm gonna try a warrior. I haven't really played a warrior before. What do people play as warrior? So if the goal would be to go into slams, I'm going to focus on doing slams, I guess. Even though, obviously, we'll be trying to do bear stuff later. I don't know how much bear stuff there is. Gotta get used to WASD again. I get stuck in Act 2 sometimes. Yeah, Tyler's never beat Act 2. So, Tyler feels your pain.
Clearfell could be in danger. I'd best hurry.
Literally never beat Act 2. I'm gonna roll in some slams, chat. How does this work here? Woo! Alright. Banger. What lies beyond Act 2 is a mystery to me. Rip. Shield bash, chat. Back. Step back. Step back. Mace strike. You don't even need other skills, chat. You just need mace strike. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, animation cancel this. How'd I do it before? Oh, backstep does it. Interesting. Yo, what's up, Jarrett? Get mace striked, idiot. I had to do that a lot last time I played. Big slammer. Big slammer. You missed. Too good, chat. Easy clap, chat.
I'm sorry, Brannock. It was me or you.
One more time. Alright. What are we doing here? Armor or damage? Oh, wait, damage, huh? Damage is king?
Father, it's a wicked sword. There's a knife you could chant your. Oh well. The Count must die.
Earthquake, bone shatter. Whale log in? Damn it. Dumb. I don't know. Earthquake probably sounds fine.
Out there. Trust me. Are you no people? I care. Be wary.
Welcome. I know. I fear that our land's sick. Goodbye.
We will.
Let us go into the wilds. I already missed my crossbow. That did no damage. Oh, it's like little waves. Is that part of the earthquake? That's such a long duration. Hey, can you guys sit still for like 5 hours? Hold on a second. Wait for it. Yeah. That's right. Alright, roll and slam it is. Earthquake ain't it. Oh shit, this won't be here next time?
And the light of the dark retreats. For now.
I need to actually put Roll and Slam somewhere useful. Big AoE chat. You enjoying this intense warrior gameplay that's about to get die because I don't have any healing? Perfect. Perfect. The warrior experience. All right, the thing despawns, doesn't it? No. All my sweet loot. There we go. That's better. One-hand shields for wimps. Keep going more damage. You don't need anything else. I missed. There's gotta be a way to make that duration like 10 times better. Can I stack a bunch of these up just at once, or does it only do one at a time? It's like it only does one. I mean, she got kind of dunked on though, chat. Good to know so I can hate this. I'll put it on my hate list. Oh, I'm stuck in a corner. Smack, smack. It's not the flashiest skill in the world, right? But I've definitely used worse things. I believe this was Fez's request last week. And once again, no one's really putting in a request, so it's just kind of doing what it's doing. You don't know the epic highs and lows of high school basketball. Or football. I'm not sure what the quote is. What am I stuck on right here? Can I go down this hallway? High school football? Hi, Abby! Yep, what a concept. Also, Tyler, you can exclamation point skip it, I'm pretty sure. It's not like someone actually requested it this week, so it's okay to skip. Or Abby can also do it. If she, assuming she also hates it. Come here, nerd. Yeah, you're about to be in a world of pain. Get back here. Get back here. Yeah. I'm pressing the wrong skill. I was wondering, like, where the hell is my earthquake at? The fuck? Where you at, Billy? Oh. Now I know. Now I see my error in my ways again. Honestly, pretty easy kill. Ooh, big hammer. Bye, shield. How do you teleport again? Hey, I figured it out. Gamers, what's up, quick? Oh, right. I need to use WASD. Can you identify stuff here? Let someone identify stuff. Is it you? Oh, it's only what's his face when he spawns, right? Sin. Well, poop. With the revive Sin. Well, that doesn't help me now. Frustrating. Oh, was this from the lady? Okay, I'll do that. Fist of War. Orca Brutality it. Charlie's probably just better. I keep clicking to walk. No, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing.
Finn makes fun of my collection, but I think it's charming.
That does have more damage on it.
I will treasure it.
Thank you. Blessed be. It's in a group a group found? Hell yeah, gamer. You're gonna make so much money off of that. I just cannot be bothered with heisting. Alright, I don't need to be killing these people. I'm just doing that for fun at this point. In the game of Path of Exile. Some build up, melee damage. We're just gonna get all damage. I haven't found the exit yet. What are you gonna do with the simplex? What are you gonna try to craft? Are you taking it with you? Are you just gonna split it, take it with you into trade, and actually be able to use resources? Or does that group found have like a lot of resources to craft with? There it is. I'm a big fan of heisting. Excellent. We need more heisters. I don't like doing it. Ow. Yeah, I mean, level 1's a little weird until you get, like, especially a two-hander. But honestly, it's the feel the worst. I like that I don't need to think piece. Yeah, I think a little bit, though, right? Can't not think at all. Thought I killed him. Want to go look at what Quick said?
It seems no one is safe
No?
from
Rip.
corruption.
I don't really need another gem. Honestly, let's just make it big AoE. Less aiming for me. Yeah, you still gotta think about your curious though. What if you grabbed the wrong thing? Smile. What if you didn't grab that simplex because you weren't thinking? What's the one you get to come back to, right? Yes.
There'll be no
Okay.
passage here.
I think the big issue I'm gonna face with this is that I don't know how much of a slam enjoyer I actually am. I've played slams here and there. They're okay. But I don't know if I'm call myself a slam enjoyer.
Crush them! Become dead!
What little gems do I get Sunder? Solid after Act 2, 3. What do you unlock in Act 2 and 3 that makes it better? Just a better slam? Does the wind-up speed of the skill increase with attack speed? If I get like insane amounts of attack speed, do I just like start roly-poly-olying around? Alright, I need to put on these.
The very Brotherhood turns against me! This can't go on.
More attack speed, more stun better, more AoE. More better? More better sounds more better. Unfortunately, I'm only testing like probably Act 1. We'll get to those in these tests. But good to know. Which case you could always use grenades instead of doing slams early on. When I did grenades for that brief time I played a warrior through Act 1 last season, just spamming grenades was pretty good. Bone shatter, eh? Grenades are stupidly good. You're stupid. That's fair though.
I remember this place.
What happened here?
Prime with strike and then bone shatter.
This shade. There is a battlefield when you will know. I'll wait here.
Are you priming on even like white mobs like this? He just died. Or are you just mace striking the white mobs and then you're only doing that on like rares and magics and stuff? I'm just walking over here just mace striking people like this. Insane work. Yeah, no, I think just I think just going grenades and just pathing out through like the tanky nodes is probably fine. I say fuck this. I'll be right back though. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. Um, it's not because it does more damage each time it spreads. It's still fine. Damage is fine even without all the spreading. Lose yourself to dance, chat. It's more effective than Rolling Slam until later on. Primary Shatter really good against rares. I need to use the same mindset for a bow start test. Poison Burst isn't good enough for the first few zones, and I have to assume the Lightning Arrow on your round isn't good early anymore. Yeah, I mean, so like, if melee slams feels bad for the first couple acts, you could just grab your tank nodes and do grenades. Oh, we lost some frames while it was gone, by the way. All right, let's contact the ISP again. Instead of grabbing like these melee damage nodes, and obviously you can always switch back to these later if you want to, but you could just like grab this because the grenades themselves have so much just high damage. I don't think grenades took a nerf at any point either. Here, let's in fact we'll start over again just to try grenades from the get go if we are able to. What is up, Gazi?
Have to keep moving. By the first ones, you're alive. I'm glad to see it now. I would appreciate it if you could.
But it's like the same thing that people do with even like caster builds or like minion builds. People will just play like ED Contagion early on because it comes online super early. So you just do that until you're able to actually do the skill you want to do. Make sure it's Friday? Hell yeah. We love a Friday, chat.
Now this might be just what I need.
Eat a bunch of nerds. Alright, trying to get to the point to where I can use Tornadoes. Am I just running in circles? I am. Yeah, exactly. A lot of builds just talk Contagion just for clear early, yeah. I'm saying you don't necessarily need to struggle as slams just because you want to play slams later on. If it feels bad right now, and you don't hurt yourself too bad with any like respec and stuff like that, play someone else. Ow. You stumped me out of my hit? Hello? I was being lazy? Let me be lazy. There we go. Bad zombies.
I'm sorry, Brannock. It was me or you.
You could also just mule over, if you can't buy a crossbow early or whatever to use grenades, you could always mule over Witch Hunter, or Mercenary rather. But instead of going here, you just go tank nodes. Because the melee damage doesn't really help.
Where have you? It's a wicked sword. There's a beast not you could channel. Till next time.
Obviously I didn't get a, whatchamacallit?
Die for what he has done to us.
We can get explosive grenade level 1. I just need to be able to have a crossbow.
Are you sure? I'll see what I.
Oh, sure. Can I buy a crossbow?
Anything take your fancy?
So expensive. Oh, I have gold. Oh, I still have gold from earlier, right? I wouldn't have this much right now, actually. So let's assume that I'm muled over. You'd also have an extra gym thing if you wanted to. I don't want to do rolling slam anymore. It's fine. Take the rolling slam off, please. Jesus. You can do like this.
Welcome. I fear that our land. Stay safe, if you can.
You can shoot from far away as a crossbow person. Get a pack. You can obviously throw down your giant like explosive if you bring him into it. Like if slams are that bad in Act 1, easy solve.
The ground shudders. The dark retreats. For now.
Because I can put up 3 out right now if I wanted to. Obviously, I could space them out better so they actually hit all targets, but I'm not worried about getting swarmed or dying right now. Not bad. You should do this. And then you go slams in Act 3 or whatever you said it was, that where it feels better. And as you get supports for grenades, like eventually you get gas grenade, which also goes incendiary grenade really well. Your combo gets really good. As you get supports to cast out much more grenades. I guess your biggest downside is you're gonna have to make sure you save enough stuff to get like supports and stuff that you need to switch over to slams. But honestly, not that bad. There's like a little camp in here too, right? That has like a extra gym. And if you muled over, here it is actually. If you muled over, you'll have extra gems and stuff too. At least one extra gem. You can always save it for later. I like to use grab tank nodes. So I grab a Iphrogen here, get this. Can get more armor if I want to. I can always go out to here if I want to. Are grenades considered attacks? I assume so, right? So area damage and area effective attacks is probably pretty good. AoE projectile attack? Yeah. So, not bad. And then, so you get a flash grenade here if you can use it if you want to. You can save all this extra stuff if you don't want to do any other crossbolt stuff. You could literally just do crossbow attack. If you want to pick up something else just to make it a little bit easier on yourself, you can. I think just leveling his crossbows is probably fine. If slams feel that bad, which I'd rather do this than do the rolling slam I was just a little bit ago. And I can totally save those extra things for respecking / reskilling later, even though they'll be low level. Alright, let's go find the exit and the frost lady. Here's the exit. I'm just gonna find the frost lady, which looks like it might be right here-ish. Big damage. There she is. Probably should have timed my grenades to line up with the guys spawning, but it's whatever. As you can tell, it didn't really matter. Oh, I need to turn that not on that.
This lair, how deep does it go?
You suck. Okay, no crossbow shot goes hard in Act 1. Yeah, you can also just buff up crossbow shot if you don't want to send your skill gems into other things. Eventually you get shorter fuse and stuff, so your grenades are like very, very quick if you want. But I don't know which point of the game that comes in on. I don't know how long you'd want to be using grenades. So honestly, not that bad. There's worse things to use on Warrior. Wrong way. There we go. Where you at, buddy?
Corruption has twisted it into a nightmare.
Worst part is when he goes under, why did you throw your grenades out? So you miss like a bunch of your explosions. Gets me every time, chat. See, like that? You son of a... Oh, what? Got to dodge that part. You have to dodge that one, chat. Can any character just face tank that? I guess maybe if you hold your shield up might work. At this point.
I can't yet. I need more time. The tail.
Oh, you punk. Oh, I threw 2 grenades there thinking he'd be there. No.
I can't yet.
Alright, get some of those smaller bugs out of there at least. I just threw a grenade there, didn't I? There we go.
A horrific
You get heavy stun out of it, you still die. Oh, with the shield.
clear fell.
Rip Bozo, I guess. Yeah, I think you have to mule over from a witch hunter or merc.
Now this won't
I don't think you can unless you randomly drop a crossbow from a hillock kill.
your fancy. I'll find some use for that.
We get chain here. I can also get multi-shot on here, which I like a lot better. Chain might be not useful for the next one though. Oh, okay. I was like, why does that still show I didn't do the quest there? It's because of the Abyss quest. I don't give a shit about the Abyss quest.
Feel my wrath.
Boom! Big explosions now. Multi-shot's great. Nope. There we go. I'm gonna say I wanted to say this, they blew up. And I did, chat.
I need more time.
Give me that. You also want to plan your shots a little bit better. I'm used to short fuse, but you want to probably shoot in front of you when you roll away. Also, just do sweet stuff like pick up, permafrost bolts, that kind of stuff. Okay, start grenades in Mortar Ballista? Warbringer? Yeah. Yeah, you do. I mean, if you're planning on doing that, then this is a great way to start the build, then. Just play grenades from level 1. Probably still mule over a Merc. Just to get your crossbow and level 1 grenades from the get-go. Oh, dead end. Big open space for nothing. Alright. Until people start putting music on, we're just gonna listen to, like, songs. So many wolves. Take a nap and test something? Perfect. Not the BBL. You do fire attunement for even more damage if we want to as well. Because this does mostly, it's all fire, right? 80% fire? And if you have heat, even better. So you can always go, oh, incendiary shot's the next level. Level 3. You can always go incendiary shot to build up heat. I think it's built up heat. No, it's the I've what? It's like a machine gun one, right? That builds up heat. Is it high velocity? Not single target. Rapid shot. That's it. There we go. Oh right, I have a support gem. We'll try the chain thing. That we need more dexterity to try, so we can't do it. Smile. Alright, we will try chain thing then. Or just do fire attunement. So AoE's not bad actually. Let's go AoE.
I remember this place.
What happened? This there friendly will know. I'll wait here. The old magics will
Look at that AOE, chat.